אשר בשושן הבירה בשנת 3 למלכו עשה משתה לכל שריו ועבדיו הרס ומדי הפרטמים לשרי המדינות לפניו בהראותו את עושר כבוד מלכותו ואת יקר תפארת גדולתו ימים רבים 80 ומעט yom. So we've just learned about a 180-day party, and we'll hear more in the English.
Karen, what do you like?
Yeah. A little bit too much.
You mean I'm not loud
Oh,
enough?
it's the crunching of the rolling of the scroll.
We can hear the scroll.
Once upon a time, in the time of Achashverosh. Now this was the Achashverosh, whose empire extended all the way from India to Ethiopia. In the 3rd year of his reign, in the capital city of Shushan, he threw a huge party for all his ministers and chief servants, just to impress them with his fantastic wealth and greatness. This party lasted 7 full days. Everyone had all they could eat and drink, from beautiful golden dishes, including some the invaders took from our holy temple. The festivities went on and 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 on. And on the 7th day, when the king was pretty drunk, he called for Queen Vashti to dance before the whole crowd, dressed in only her crown. Now Vashti was no coward, but when she refused, the king's rage boiled over. Vashti was fired as queen and banished from Shushan forever.
You're fired.
Not long afterward, when the king sobered up, he wondered what to do for his new queen. His ministers advised him to have a beauty contest, so the most gorgeous woman in the whole empire would be his new queen.
I am George Santos, and I am the most beautiful woman in Shushan. And I want to be the queen.
No. She is not. Okay. And so Mordecai, the Jew, sent his niece Esther out to try for the job. And Esther was the most beautiful of all. So she became the queen of the Persian Empire. Esther was careful and didn't tell anyone. She was a Jew.
Shocker.
Her uncle Mordecai would sit outside the palace to keep in touch with her, just in case you think this is the end of the story.
Hang on.
There's a lot more to come.
A lot.
Last track.
One day, Mordecai heard 2 guards plotting to murder the king. And Mordecai reported what he had heard, and the king's life was saved.
Yay!
For this, nobody thanked him. but his name was written in the king's records. Sometime after these happenings, the king appointed a new prime minister. His name was
The king's new minister had a very big ego and loved to have people bow down to him. One day, he and his officers passed by Mordecai, who as usual was sitting by the palace gate. But Mordecai refused to bow down to When the officers told him to bow down, Mordecai said, I am a Jew, and I don't bow down to anyone but my God. I serve the Holy One,
And
this makes me free. Number 4. Come was absolutely furious. And he went to the king and said,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, your highness, beloved and mighty, and fantastic and awesome, I have bad news for you. There is a people scattered throughout your empire. I see some of them now. They don't follow your laws. Now this is terrible. But I can take care of them. If you give me the okay, I'll waste them. And they'll never bother you again. I'll even bring in more money for your treasury. Money. And the king said, that sounds fine to me.
Gig is in the head.
Do what you want with these people. Now leave me alone. I have a date with the queen.
We're doing it after a little bit. I'm not sure how long after we're doing it.
Thank you for sharing. I think Stewie's on the line.
Here you just want me to do it.
Stewie's on the line.
so we can hear him.
And so, all the days of the year were written on pieces of paper and put in a box. One piece was taken out by Haman. This would be the day that all the Jews would be killed. And so, the news went out by express riders to all parts of the empire to kill all the Jews. Men, women, and children, rich, poor, young, and old, on the 14th day of Adar. Now that's nice. Also, a special gallows was built to hang the Jew Mordecai, who wouldn't bow down to Haman. Now when the Jews heard this, they thought they were doomed for sure. But Mordecai got the message to Esther. He said, "You have a chance to change the course of history. Go for it. Go talk to the king. This may be the work of the Holy One of Israel. You might have become queen just so you'd have the chance to save your people." Now Esther was terrified because if she went to the king without being invited, the king might get mad and kill her. But she decided to do it.
You're on TV. Let's see. You're going. Let's see if it's over. Yeah. Well, I'm going to roll up my sleeves now. This is how we do it in Florida in our nightclubs. Where are we? So this is your part. Esther baby, 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 Esther baby. So Esther dressed in her snappiest low-cut queen outfit, and she walked into the throne room uninvited. She went up to the king on his throne, and she went down on her knees, and the king was glad to see her. And the king said, "Esther baby, Esther baby, Esther baby, so good to see you. Esther baby, my Esther baby, so good to see you. You look great. What can I give you? Ask for anything, you can have it. Up to 50%, 50% of the kingdom. That's for Esther baby, Esther baby, Esther baby, Esther baby." So Queen little Esther baby said, "My king, I'd like you to come. My king, I'd like you to come. My king, I'd like you to come. My king, I'd like you to come." Whoops.
Esther baby. Esther baby.
To a special little party, Esther baby, to a special little party, Esther baby, to a special little party in my palace. Just you and me, my little king. Yo, oh my kingy boo, my little kingy boo, so glad you could come.
Esther baby.
Esther baby, Esther baby, and yes, Esther, Esther baby, just for fun. Bring that little man home. Gracias, Esther.
Okay. You got number 7.
Yes, I do.
Who's got a sword?
Yeah, be careful. This king's got a sword.
Oh, wave that thing around too much.
That night, the king had insomnia. Oh, for the court records to be read out loud, so that he could be bored to sleep. The story was told of how Mordecai reported on the plot against the king. The king said,
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
"Hold on, please. Wait a minute, this guy saved my life.
Aye.
And we never did anything for him." Think,
Think.
think, 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 think,
Think,
think.
think.
Okay. No good ideas. Is anybody else around? And By a very strange coincidence, just happened to be hanging around in the king's chambers, no
In the
less,
middle of
in
the
the middle of the
night.
night.
Just
Oh, the king called him in and asked, king has decided to wander, and Haman. In his typical self-absorbed narcissistic way of thinking, thought he must mean me. So he said, such a man should be dressed in the king's robes, sat upon the king's best horse, and paraded through the city, led by someone who calls out over and over, this is the man the king is delighted to honor. So said, the king said, excellent idea. Do it for the Jew Mordecai. You will be the one to lead the horse through the streets. Make it so, so let it be written, so let it be done.
Namaste. It's a mesh. Yes. Arigato.
And so, the next night, after the end of a very, 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 very long day, Haman dragged himself home and told the whole pathetic story to his wife and followers. His wife said, what?
This is my part.
It is?
Yes.
Well, how the hell should I know? You got that weird mask on. Start over. Okay, wait a second. Take it from here. No.
And so the next night, after the end of a very, very, very long day, Haman dragged himself home and told the whole pathetic story to his wife and his followers. His wife said, what? And you want to whack this guy? Are you out of your mind? Forget about it.
Forget about it.
This is not a coincidence. This dude is nothing but trouble. His karma will run over your dogma. But at that very moment, the king's guard came knocking on the door to escort Haman to the fateful dinner.
Oh no! Yeah. Oh, today will marry me. Oh, today will marry me. Oh, today will marry me. And eat some hamantaschen.
Where have I heard that before? And so the king and Haman went to Esther's party. The king was in a good mood and said to Esther, tell me, dear queen, what do you want now? It shall be my royal command. And Esther cried out, save my life! Someone is trying to murder me and all my people. Save me, save me, save me, save me, save me. Oh, please, 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 save me. And the king shouted, who? What? Where? Who could do such a terrible thing? And Esther said, this one, this evil one, Haman. Now the evil one could could see that he had a problem and bowed down to beg for mercy, but he just happened to trip over Esther's gown, pulling it down, revealing for all the others to see just if it was that endeared her to the king. And he landed right on top of Esther. And the king said, "What? How dare you try to make whoopee with the queen? Get your hands off the royal assets." Boy, you were in a heap of trouble. He gave orders and guards came with handcuffs and chains and very unfriendly expressions and took away Haman.
And so it happens. It happens that way.
At that moment, just by coincidence, one of the king's ministers came in and said, "Excuse me, your majesty, what do you want to do with the gallows out in front of the palace that were built for the Jew Mordechai, the one who saved your life?"
Oops.
And Esther said,
Wait a
Wait a minute, he's my uncle. And the king said,
What?
No more Mr. Nice Guy. Use the gallows to hang. Now the story's not quite over. The king didn't like to change his orders once he'd given them. He was very inflexible. So the order to kill all Jews was still in force. But Esther begged and pleaded, and the king gave the order that the Jews could defend themselves, so that when their enemies came to attack them, the Jews survived by fighting back. Then the king made Mordechai his prime minister and gave him a very snazzy palace of his own, which incidentally belonged to Haman.
Yay!
And so, almost everybody lived happily ever after. Now what can we learn from all this? As it is written in the books of the wise ones, coincidence is God's way of staying anonymous. And if you come to a fork in the road, you should definitely take it. At the end of the day, when we take off the masks we wear for the world, who are we really? We can all be Mordecai. We can all be Esther. Stand up for justice. Don't bow to evil. We serve the Holy One, and this makes us free. After the Magillah, ועד את עינינו, ונוקם את נקמתנו, והמשלם גמול לכל אויבי נפשנו, ונפרד לנו מצרינו, ברוך אתה אדוני, הנפרד לעמו ישראל, מכל צריהם, האל המושיע. ay, 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 ay,